With King Charles's coronation fast approaching, I've been asked to record some of the highlights of my time as the representative Deputy Lieutenant for the Royal Borough of Greenwich. Having lived in Charlton, worshipped in the benefice, worked at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital and been commissioned as the Deputy Lieutenant, I've been privileged to know how the Royal Borough ticks and met all the wonderful people, mainly volunteers, who are its lifeblood. Many of the voluntary organisations have had royal visits, and as Deputy Lieutenant, it was my job to help make these run smoothly. During my 15 years, from 1998 until 2013, I greeted every member of the royal family, including Queen Elizabeth, 6 times. As far as the parish is concerned, I received Princess Alexandra as the first visitor when she came to St Luke's to view the wonderful Millennium Tapestry, which hangs on the wall close to the font at the west end of the church. Then there was a visit by the Duke of Gloucester for the special service held to mark the 200 years since Spencer Perceval, the only British Prime Minister to have been assassinated, was laid to rest in the private burial vault belonging to Charlton House. This was part of a composite visit where the Duke had visited Boone's Chapel in Lewisham, and we then came on to view Charlton House, where he caught up with Lord Gough and found out about the history and had lunch with people who were trying to establish a Charlton House Trust, which became overtaken in the end by a borough-wide heritage trust. Following a buffet lunch and what turned out to be a rather shorter than expected tour of the house, we found ourselves with time on our hands. So the Duke asked to walk through the village before turning up at St Luke's for the service. After the service, he was very interested to see the memorial stone to Mrs. Robinson on one side and her husband, the Postmaster General, at the east end of the chancel, because they are distant relatives of his. I managed to secure a visit from the late Queen Elizabeth to officially open the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, built on the old boundary of the Charlton and Woolwich Commons. I had invited the local primary schools to send groups and was expecting about 90, when I was told I could only have 25. Okay, I said. I did nothing about it, and we had about 120 when it came to it. Wonderful, colourful welcome, and also a farewell for the Queen, as they sang songs, Christmas songs, and waved their flags and pushed forwards on the ropes so that the passage was narrowed, and the Queen loved it so much that a video clip featured for several months on the Buckingham Palace website. One of those children was Alex Simpson, from one of our church families at that time, and he's standing in the front row. There were very many other royal visits to Greenwich, but the hospital opening was the most exciting. In 2012, the Queen gave Greenwich Royal Borough status. This gift to the borough was shared with the Duke of Edinburgh, who had chosen the title Baron Greenwich himself. I usually greeted him with that title. So we celebrate Charles III's coronation, and we salute the sense of duty shown by his late mother, Queen Elizabeth II.